Well, it seems the city is turning out to be the COVID capital at the moment. The city has registered more than 220,000 cases since the pandemic started. That's nearly double the amount of any other region in Gauteng. Let's take a look at the numbers then. eNCA's Michael Marillier is tracking that story for us, putting narrative and a story to the numbers. Michael, you've been looking at the numbers for the last few days in Johannesburg. What are you seeing?
Well, absolutely, Tulisi's, where COVID-19 has ravaged not just Gauteng, but Joburg in particular. Of course, this city is a city of about 5.5 million people, so not surprising that there are a large amount of cases in Johannesburg, but certainly those numbers very, very concerning. And one of the other things to consider is that Gauteng is a province that really involves a very small land mass, so very easy for the virus to spread because it is a high-density area, as you mentioned. Let's focus very quickly on what's been going on in the city of Joburg Metro over the last few days, Tulisi's, where some really scary numbers coming out on Sunday. We were talking about nearly 3,600 new infections. I'm happy to report that Monday was a better day. It dropped to around about 2,180, although we have seen a spike across the province on Tuesday. But certainly those figures give us some hope that we can curb the numbers if we put our mind to it. But I want to focus now, Tulisi's, on a few of the areas where we have registered some high numbers in Johannesburg. Let's take a quick look at some of those. The western suburbs, in terms of the regions, Tulisi's, where the western suburbs really encompassing Roodepoort, Northgate, Florida, Constantia Kloof, nearly 390 new infections on Monday. Inner city or Johannesburg, around about 380. When we refer to the mid-north that you're seeing right there in the center of the map with 372 cases, we're talking about Randburg, Rosebank, Melville, Parktown, as well as Mayfair. Alex Santon really speaks for itself. Again, 321 cases there. And then in the Soweto area, which encompasses Soweto, as well as Protea Glen, Dobsonville, Doornkop, we're looking at about 270 cases as well. The key takeaway here, Tulisi's, is that there's no area that has not been touched by COVID-19. In fact, no region in the city of Joburg has had less than roughly 200 cases. And this is for Monday specifically. Perhaps that's a sign, Tulis, of that phenomenon that we spoke about, the high-density geographics of the city of Joburg. The city is very compact and it's closely connected with the byways, the highways, very easy to move from one part of the city to the other, and that spells trouble when it comes to the virus.
You're absolutely right. The numbers speak for themselves there. I mean, I was trying to decipher a story in as far as the various regions of the city of Joburg is concerned. I thought, you would see one or two regions that are not so badly affected, but from the numbers that you're showing, it actually does show that there's no region that remains untouched by the spread of COVID-19. But also, while we're talking about the various regions in Johannesburg, Joburg itself is, of course, linked to other cities within the province of Gauteng. What is that story? What is that interlinkage between the various cities within the province?
Yeah, a crucial question, Tulisi's. Well, let's focus very quickly on Tshwane first of all, and again I'll focus on the figures for Sunday as well as Monday. There's a little bit of good news in that the figures have dropped in these areas as well. Sunday we had 2,340 new cases in the country's capital, dropping marginally to about 2,100 on Monday. Important to note, Tulisi's, that Tshwane has a smaller population than the city of Joburg, also spread over a much bigger area, in fact 6,300 square kilometers. So perhaps it's benefiting to some extent from that. At the same time, very easy to move between Johannesburg and Tshwane, so that presents a problem for that metro as well. Same thing applies to Ekurhuleni. If we just wrap things up and look at Ekurhuleni on the eastern side of the province, we were looking at 1,640 new infections on Monday, Tulisi's, where again a bit of a drop to just over 1,200 cases on Monday. So we have seen those numbers go down. But again, these figures are way too high. That's what the experts keep telling us. And I think these two metros, as you mentioned, closely linked to Johannesburg geographically, easy to move around the province of Gauteng, and perhaps they are suffering to some extent from what's going on in Johannesburg.